Hi, this is a message to just the world of your spirituality. Because all the major religions of the third world know this. All you need to know are the first 3 chapters of Genesis in this Holy Bible. What you need to know, first of all, in chapter 1 is God created everything, like the universe, the cosmos, the stars, the solar systems, constellations, everything. God created this on the 6th day of His day. Okay? What I'm gonna pretty much tell you guys is my translation of the first 3 chapters of Genesis. The planet is born, the solar system allows it, for it is the love of the sun. Thus, the first creatures to dominate the earth, this earth, were the cold-blooded, true beings fueled to action by the sun. For that is the law of the earth. Demons by blood, devils by rule. Dinosaurs. The earth was given them a soul because information about them has been gathered from the earth. And these species, they lived by being divided and by killing or defending. Now, there were, according to the hierarchy of physical being, there will be some that would kill to defend, and there will be some that would kill to eat. And then there were the others that just killed, just for the hell of it. Either way, this is the law of natural selection. But in the oceans there dwelt the Leviathans, the first real dragons of this earth. For they had scales like the demons and devils that roamed the land, but they were the blood of warmth. And to them did God say, "You will see and move with the light." For this earth had no moon. On the 3rd day, the first 2 days of God, the earth never had a moon. All it was darkness and light, and the earth revolved around the sun. But then on the 4th day of God, He sent Lucifer. And yes, an angel. But the angel came in the form of a dragon from the heavens, gave birth to the moon, so that there be a great light in the morning, and a lesser light in the evening. This was the last generation when demons and devils ruled and roamed this earth. The 4th day of God. And it was him, Lucifer, to make them good between the firmaments. And thus, Lucifer grew, divided. In size, he grew smaller, but larger in numbers. And God saw this as good. Thus, it was the 6th day of God, when God created sapiens, after God's own image, and it was His day of God. Did God say, "You may have domain over this earth," also known as Neanderthals. The 6th day was when Neanderthals started walking on this earth. The 6th day of God. But it was the 7th day of God when God rested from finishing His work of the cosmos, the solar systems, the whole entire universe. This was the day that God communicated to a man by the name of Adam. And thus information was born. And it is because of this we have a soul. And so, as you know, the story goes, a serpent, but of cold-blooded, but by the grace of Lucifer, did he speak to Eve. And thus, the end result of that day, did God sent out humanity from paradise. For they have chosen the destiny of knowing the wisdom of God. To the east, however, God placed cherubims, to protect the tree of life. And so this begins my story. My Genesis. The story of cherubs. Many of God's angels, since did they too live this earth and visited. However, the great angel Bahamut, did he rule over the nations of Asia? He was the first of the greatest tales of the dragon. It was he who could change his form to the image of man. It was he who made the cherubs out of the first sapiens. The very first sapiens. On the 6th day, the 5th day, I forgot to mention this. The 5th day, it's not really important, but it's when the mammals arose, the whales swam, the fish, the birds flew, and they were all made after the image of Lucifer. And God saw this as beautiful. But this is the 5th day. I missed that. But either way, back to the story. It was he, Bahamut, who made the cherubs out of the first sapiens. Which is why many of you look kind of caveman-ish. For like any of God's creations embraced by God's love, they were not to be alone. And that is why Asians populated their land. Bahamut ruled for generations along the divided terrains of Asia. It was he that held the peace among the lands of Asia. But the cherubs, for they were already blessed with the knowledge of life, as well as good and evil. They communed with the spirits of the dead, and thus they remained divided, so much so like the demons and devils of this earth, long before the 4th day of God. And thus the cherub civilization expanded, and so did they become gradually separate and conflict and war. For the demons and devils that reigned this earth from before, did they start to rise again in the body and mind amongst the cherubs. Bahamut saw this through his eyes, fit for the cherubs, a destiny for them to live. For Lucifer had come to this earth in the form of Bahamut. Bahamut came to this earth in the form of an angel. Thus, by the law of God, Bahamut became mortal, much like Adam and Eve. And much like the mortals of Adam and Eve, Bahamut desired a mate. And so every 12 years since the arrival of Bahamut, he would be presented a female virgin. For that is a law of holy blood. Your heart. It was not long before the cherubs, with their knowledge of the spirits of demons and devils, did the cherubs start to present younger virgins to Bahamut. Bahamut, with his vast wisdom, grew very roarsome. He grew wrathful. He wished to live no more. He wished to live no more. For his wisdom, he saw fit that he should become one with the spirits as well, to save humanity. And so Bahamut sacrificed himself to save the very beings he created. For it was justified by God as honorable and noble. And it was then the start of Asian history. Amen.